The giant dog wouldn't stop stealing the baby's toys and hiding them under his bed. The parents were furious. But when Mom finally crawled under to see what he'd done with them, what she found made her scream. Before you watch, remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss another touching story like this one. And write in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is there. "Bear, drop it," Sarah called sharply as the massive Newfoundland trotted past with her daughter's stuffed rabbit dangling from his mouth. Bear didn't drop it. His dark eyes flicked toward her once, then he continued toward his bed in the corner of the living room, moving with that deliberate, calm gait Newfoundlands were known for. Sarah hadn't slept properly in 2 weeks. 3-year-old Lily had been going through a difficult phase, tantrums, nightmares, refusing to eat, and now this. Their dog, the gentle giant they'd trusted completely, had suddenly started stealing Lily's belongings. Her husband, Michael, worked long hours at the hospital, leaving Sarah alone to manage both a difficult toddler and an increasingly strange dog. Bear had been part of their family for 5 years, since before Lily was born. At 140 pounds with thick black fur that made him look even larger, he seemed more like a gentle bear than a dog. He'd always been patient with Lily, letting her climb on him, pull his ears, and use him as a pillow. But 2 weeks ago, something changed. It started small. Lily's favorite blanket disappeared from her bed. Sarah found it under Bear's bed, carefully placed in the corner. Then her stuffed bunny, then her sparkly shoes. "Michael, I'm serious," Sarah said one evening, exhaustion making her voice crack. "He's targeting her things. Only her things. It's not normal." Michael rubbed his face. He'd just gotten home from a double shift. "Sar, he's a Newfoundland. They're bred to rescue people. Maybe he thinks he's protecting her somehow." "Protecting her from what?" Sarah snapped. "Her own toys." "I don't know," Michael said quietly. "But bears never shown aggression. There has to be a reason. Or maybe," Sarah stopped herself. "Maybe we need to consider other options." Michael knew what she meant, rehoming, finding Bear a new family. The tension grew thicker over the following days as Bear's behavior escalated. Every morning, Lily would wake up crying, discovering something else missing: her toy teacup, her plastic crown, the nightlight shaped like a moon that she needed to fall asleep. Each theft seemed calculated. Bear would wait until Lily left a room, then move with swift purpose, carrying items in that impossibly soft mouth Newfoundlands were famous for, the kind of mouth that could carry an egg without cracking it. "Bear, no!" Lily shrieked one afternoon, catching him with her blanket. She tried to pull it from his jaws, but the massive dog held firm. His bear-like frame towered over the small child. "Lily, let go," Sarah said sharply, pulling her daughter back. "We'll get you another blanket." "I don't want another blanket," Lily sobbed. "I want Bear to stop being mean." That night, after Lily finally cried herself to sleep, Sarah found Michael sitting on the back porch. "I called the shelter," he said quietly. "Just to ask about options." Sarah's throat tightened. "Not yet. Give it 1 more week." But Lily overheard. The next morning, she refused to eat, her little face pale and tear-stained. "You're sending Bear away," she whispered, "because of me." "No, baby, I'll be better. I'll keep my stuff in my room. Please don't make him go." The guilt crushed them both. They started keeping Bear separated from Lily more often, closing doors between them and watching him with suspicious eyes. Bear seemed to sense the shift. He paced, he whined, and still, somehow, he found ways to take her things. 1 week later, the situation reached its breaking point. Sarah had been trying to work from home, attempting to focus on emails while managing Lily's tantrums. Neither she nor Michael had been sleeping well, the stress keeping them awake at night. That evening, Lily's drawing pad disappeared. She'd spent hours creating pictures of their family, stick figures holding hands, with Bear drawn larger than any of them in careful black scribbles. "That's it," Michael said, his voice tight. "I'm calling the shelter tomorrow. This is too much." But Lily, hearing this, did something neither parent expected. She marched to Bear's bed, her small face set with determination, tears streaming down her cheeks, but her jaw clenched tight. "I'm getting my stuff back," she announced. "All of it." "Lily, wait," Sarah started, but Lily was already on her hands and knees, crawling under the low platform of Bear's bed frame. Michael dropped to his knees beside her, ready to intervene. Bear simply watched from across the room, his calm demeanor unchanged, those dark eyes tracking every movement. "Baby, just let Daddy get it." "No," Lily's voice echoed from beneath the bed. "I want to see what he did." Then came silence. "Lily?" Michael's heart hammered. "Lily, what is it?" "Daddy." Her voice came out small and confused. "They're all here. All of them. And they're in a line." Michael pulled out his phone, turning on the flashlight and shining it under the bed. What he saw made him freeze. Every single item Bear had taken was there, arranged with impossible precision. The stuffed bunny sat at the far end, closest to the wall. Then the sparkly shoes placed side by side. The teacup set nested together. The blanket folded, actually folded, into a square. The nightlight, the drawing pad, the crown, all of it leading from the edge of the bed toward the wall that backed onto Lily's bedroom. "What the hell?" Michael breathed. "Why did he make them neat?" Lily crawled backward, clutching her bunny. Something cold slithered down Michael's spine. This wasn't random. This wasn't destruction. This was a deliberate arrangement. Newfoundlands were intelligent, bred to make life-or-death decisions in water rescues. But this. "Sarah," his voice came out sharp. "Sarah, come here." His wife appeared in the doorway. Michael showed her the phone light illuminating the strange collection beneath Bear's bed. "That doesn't make sense," Sarah said slowly. "Dogs don't organize things. They don't create patterns." "Unless they're trying to tell us something," Michael murmured. Then it hit him. The baby monitor. They'd installed it in Lily's room months ago, but rarely checked the footage anymore. His hands shook as he pulled up the app on his phone, scrolling back through previous nights. "What are you looking for?" Sarah asked. "I don't know, but Bear's trying to show us something. He found it in footage from 2 nights prior." At 11:47 p.m., a thin wisp of smoke began curling from the electrical outlet in Lily's room, the outlet directly behind where her bed sat against the wall. "Oh my God," Sarah whispered. Michael scrolled forward. The smoke thickened slightly over the next hour. Barely visible, but definitely there. "The wiring," Michael said, his voice breaking. "The outlet's been failing. That wall, it backs right onto where Bear's bed is." He could smell it, feel the heat through the wall. "He's been trying to warn us." Sarah's hand flew to her mouth. "Every night, and we were going to send him away." Michael stood up, moving quickly to Lily's room. He pressed his hand against the wall behind her bed. It was warm. Not hot, but warmer than it should be. "We need to call someone now." Within an hour, an electrician arrived. What he found made both parents' blood run cold. "You're lucky," the electrician said, pulling the outlet plate off. "The wiring here has been degrading for weeks, maybe months. It's been getting progressively hotter. Another week, maybe 2, and you would have had a wall fire. With the bed right here, by the time you smelled smoke, it would have been too late." Sarah's knees buckled. Michael caught her. "We didn't smell anything," Michael said, his voice hollow. "You wouldn't have," the electrician replied. "Not until it broke through the drywall." "But a dog." He glanced at Bear, who was sitting and watching from the hallway. Dogs can detect heat and unusual smells long before humans can. Newfoundlands especially, they're rescue breeds, bred to sense danger. He saved your daughter's life. The words echoed as they moved Lily to sleep in their room while the electrician worked through the night replacing the faulty wiring. Sarah kept looking at Bear, who had positioned himself outside their bedroom door, ever watchful. After the repairs were done and Lily was safely asleep, Sarah found Bear lying in the hallway. She sank down beside him, wrapping her arms around his thick neck and burying her face in his dense black fur. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I thought you were the problem. I didn't understand." Bear turned his massive head and licked her face once, gentle as a kiss. He leaned into her, that gentle Newfoundland way of showing affection, pressing his solid weight against her. In his dark eyes, she saw no judgment, only the steady patience of a guardian who had known his purpose even when no one believed him. Michael found them there, Sarah crying against Bear's side, the dog's paw resting protectively across her lap. "We're keeping him right beside Lily from now on," Michael said quietly. "Always," Sarah agreed. The next day, they moved Bear's bed into Lily's newly repaired room, positioning it between her bed and the door. Lily insisted on giving Bear back all her treasures one by one. "You can keep them," she told him earnestly. "In case you need them again." But Bear simply rested his head on his paws, content now that his little girl was safe, and that her parents finally understood. From that day forward, nobody in that house ever doubted who was watching over their daughter.